How many we got? Faja, can you hear me? Faja.
7.
7? Okay.
Holstead Garage says, I'm the first one here. Evening,
Hey.
gents and lady. Hello.
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 Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another Tuesday Night Live.
Yo-Yo Fro says, what the heck's going on tonight, boys?
Oh my goodness. Well, my daughter and my son-in-law were supposed to be over, but they forgot. So we ate without them, and that's why we're running a little bit late today. Let me see. What we got going on? Okay, well, first, we got to talk about Miss Santana. B&A Engine Works. You know, Van Buren, Arkansas. She is a sponsor of the channel. And you guys, all her information is down below in the links. Check her out. If you need some engine work done, need anything done, email her, give her a call, jump on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And don't forget, if you guys are going shopping, to go to the super links for Summit or JEGS or Acme Tools. And those are that'll help support the channel a bunch. It's starting to, you guys are really starting to use them religiously. It's really showing it. I really appreciate it. Big news of the week is I finally got Babe and them up on the lift, and I went over everything, and all I had to do was zip tie a couple of wires, but there's no runs, no leaks, no nothing. Draggy is supposed to have been delivered today. So to this address. So it hasn't showed up yet, but I have a feeling about 8 o'clock, right before it gets dark, it's going to show up at the door because they say it's out for delivery today.
Yo-Yo says, tell us what's more about the Summit deal.
Summit is I am now an affiliate of Summit. So if you go through the little link under the description, it'll take you to Summit so you can make your orders. But it helps. I get a little taste of that, a little small percentage of what you spend. So if you spend, you know, whatever it is, then I get a little hit of that back, like once a month or once every 2 months from the company. It's called Impact. So I have the same affiliation with JEGS, and I have the same affiliation with Acme Tools. So if you need something big for like an engine stand or something like that, or whatever you would normally buy through JEGS or Summit, then if you go through the link, it tracks that you went through my link, and then I get the affiliate from it. It really helps support the channel. It's really been, it started really small, but now it's starting to ramp up, and the more people that use it, the more support you can show. And it doesn't cost you anything. It just automatically, instead of just going on your computer or on your phone, go through the link through the description, and it helps support the channel.
And eventually they'll give probably like discounts and stuff like that for using.
I'm sure
if he starts getting enough traffic, they
get
probably
enough
will.
traffic, we'll get like Black Friday codes, things like that.
Yeah. So,
and I'll adjust the stuff and make sure you guys get a full advantage of that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Did get reached out today by DeWalt. DeWalt emailed me this morning, and they're going to be sending me some care packages, and so we'll be. Yeah, I'm a big DeWalt fan. Now he's Milwaukee. I'm DeWalt.
Gryffindor.
Slytherin.
No.
Slytherin.
Gryffindor's red.
I don't care.
Yeah, that means you're a Hufflepuff, bud.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
You're a Hufflepuff.
It's okay. About a few, what is it? A few lives ago, we got the banner from Ty from Mac Tools, and he's third DeWalt guys. So
yeah, he helped me out a bunch.
Yellow and black too.
Oh,
Hufflepuff. It's crazy.
Yep. But let me see what else happened this week. Not really much.
I can't find a gremlin.
Oh well, they're all now that we've been talking about. You know, your phone's listening to you. I get nothing but feeds about gremlins.
I know. I look it up on Facebook Marketplace, and after that one you sent me, I was getting a whole bunch in my feed.
Yep.
And after the one you sent me, I haven't gotten a single one.
I'll send you another. If I come across one, I'll send it to you. Keep that going. I don't. Yeah. I mean, if she wants to, we could get LS and do all kinds of
we're
stuff.
not talking about LS and everything.
No, that's not
Dirty Max.
I know Dirty Max. It was big old. Yeah,
we call it the Dirty Gremlin.
Turbo has to sit out like exploded out the hood.
Yeah,
because there ain't no space.
And then it's got to have a stack.
Oh yeah. The stack on the side of it. Yeah.
It's got
I've seen those.
Yeah,
when they're zipping.
Hi, Judy.
Hello. Hello. Let me see. Oh. All right. How many we got in?
I have a question.
Okay, you have a question.
For you.
Okay.
We have 9 currently.
So what's your question?
How would you feel about, because you know how you were saying, Ken was asking you yesterday when we were going to start on the Mustang.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And you're like, whenever you start coming over on the weekend so we can start dismantling.
Right. And start patching and welding and all the stuff.
Well, what if some of the lives are you actually working on the Mustang?
Now, do you want to go out there in the middle of August in 100+ degrees without no air conditioning in the shop?
I handle the heat a lot better than you handle the heat.
Exactly, because I've had a heat stroke and I don't do hot no more. That's why the shop.
Well, that's right. You moved it out to the big shop, huh?
Yeah. Well, we can move it back.
No. Well,
I think
that's where he's going with this. Eventually, we're going to move the lives out to the shop, and we'll be wrenching on something while we're doing the lives. So that way.
The last 2 times we tried to go out into the garage, not to the shop, but into the garage, and it has a repeater in it.
I think it's just my laptop because I'm not connected.
Well, we couldn't get it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was also stormy the last 2 times.
Yeah, it was. And it was. Yeah, the internet was a little wonky.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we had a whole bunch.
And also
it's a
metal building.
Well, that's kind of like I was thinking that's probably going to end up being the paint shop, and then that'll be the mechanical shop.
Right.
So, yeah, I just needed to get it moved. Because I needed to do stuff,
Yeah.
But yeah, we can. I mean, there's lots of guys that do work during lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
well, and it doesn't have to be. I'm not saying like every live you have to like start working on stuff or anything, but like I feel like it would generate a lot more too.
Let me ask you guys: would you guys prefer us working on stuff and doing stuff as opposed to sitting here answering questions? You tell us. I mean, we're here for y'all. I mean, and the channel is here for you guys. What?
The very bottom one.
How hard is it to put a 350 Chevy into a Chevette? If you got a cutting torch or a plasma cutter and a welder, it's not hard. I've seen them. I've seen them back in the day. A Chevette, they had a little hatchback. Is it a 2-door, 4-door? Well, it doesn't really matter. But there's enough room. There's not a lot of room. It's like putting a V8 in an S10 and trying to make it look factory. You can make it happen. Now you gotta go, low rise breather. You gotta go. I mean, it's gonna be in there, but it's definitely a doable because I've seen it done. I've actually seen them at car shows done, and they look factory, but with a small block in it. But they had a really low profile breather on it, and not a high rise intake and nothing, But it was just. But if you think about it, a Chevette's about 2,000 pounds, as opposed to like a pickup truck that's 5,000 pounds. You don't have to have a lot of motor for it to scoot and goot.
No.
You
can put a Peppy 305 in it and call it a day.
That was the whole premise of the Vegas and the Monzas, because they were so light and so small that you didn't have to have much of an engine, and they would rock the house. Yeah. I mean, but the only thing that I think they did dumb with the Monzas and the Vegas was they always put a 4-bolt pattern on it, and they always had like 13-inch or little bitty 14-inch tires on them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get them to fit, but they look wonky once you get bigger tires on them.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do a lot of work on the suspension in the back to get any kind of tub.
Fire out.
You got to do a lot of work to get them any kind of tire to fit, but they ain't about this wide.
Yeah.
Because there just is no room.
Yeah.
But they don't weigh nothing, and that's why they're fast. Is because they don't weigh anything.
That would be kind of cool, like a Datsun, like an old school Datsun,
like a 280Z.
Yeah.
Or a 240Z.
Yeah.
They're getting really popular right now on like all the street racing channels and stuff. because there's no weight there, and because the driver is all basically sitting right on top of the rear suspension.
Mm-hmm.
It's long nose with a little short, kind of like a Gremlin.
Yeah.
And it just all the weight distribution there is already there. They don't have to tweak it much.
Yeah. Well, I had a buddy that when I was in the Navy, when I first joined the Navy, he had a little Datsun pickup truck, and he tore it apart in his apartment. He had the hood off, the cab off, down to the frame, no lift, no nothing. He was an airframer, and he would call me every once in a while. He's like, "Hey man, I gotta take the cab off. Come over real quick." And I'm like,
two guys lift it off. Yeah.
He's like, He's like, just trust me. And we get over there, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, it's a Datsun. I'm like, I ain't never heard of a Datsun before. I'm like,
no.
There's one for sale at Marketplace. For
Uncle
like
Mike
right now.
built one in a one-car garage. Yeah, I mean, and this is 25 years ago, but Uncle Mike built one, badass little small block, tubbed it, the narrow 9-inch, the whole 9. And Uncle Mike, I love him, but sometimes he just doesn't get anything finished.
He started it.
He had it almost done, and then I think he traded or sold it or did something. Something happened. He needed the money or something. But it's the same Uncle Mike that me and him shoehorned the small block into extended cab S10 for the first time, first one in the area. We did that in a little one-car garage. I mean, we did a lot of fabricating, but we did it. And
Third Gen 1991 says, "Hey Uncle Buck, your 350 rebuild video inspired me to create my own content."
Perfect. That's what it's all about. I mean, the bigger the community gets, the more voice we have.
And then Holstead Garage says, "I think a live works well working when a person has a behind the camera person like you have. Otherwise, it's ratchet sounds and no communication because the host is working and can't read the chat."
Yeah, I'm also saving for some meta glasses too, so I can actually work and have the video from the frames. Yeah, that would be helpful too. Being hands free and just say start recording and just record what you're doing right there and upload it to the computer.
This is coming from the same guy that about 10 years ago said, "I hate smartphones."
I know. I swore for a decade that I would not get rid of my little silver Samsung flip phone. I loved it. It was my pride and joy. But Christina talked me into it, but I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't had the phones.
Right. Steve says, because honestly, all Chevy rollers are ridiculously expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Hercules in Wyoming says, "I still have a 1976 Datsun truck, long bed."
Oof.
Yeah. Now Mike's was a short bed, but yeah,
yeah. What was cool for me too is like it had the old school 4-on-floor.
Yeah.
Little banger.
Yeah, a little banger with a little four banger, straight four banger.
Yep.
I had a buddy in high school. We drove back and forth to Votech in it. Jerry Leslie. He talked like this. He really was southern. Really talked like this. And his favorite thing to say was "dadgum bastard." You're a dadgum bastard. You see, that's exactly how it sounded. To this day, if I run into him, he said it exactly that way.
Your grandson's headed that way. He says some
Buck, what
stuff.
you doing? It's been good to see you. How you been doing? But Jerry was a good friend. He still is a good friend, but that was his favorite. Called everybody dadgum bastard. I thought about him in 10 years. Jerry, if you're listening, good to see you.
Yep.
Okay. I want to talk about what happened in your shop today. Throttle body.
With the what?
With the valve body.
Oh, with the valve body?
Okay. I'm going to set him up, and you guys tell me what you would think if this problem came up in front of you.
Okay. So
There was.
No. Butt naked eating Cheetos in a beanbag chair. Anyways, so car comes in, vehicle comes in, and had a valve body replacement. Left about 2,000 miles later, comes back. It's got a whine. It's shifting hard. So I scanned it, no codes, but I could duplicate the whine, and it was like a spool up on the torque converter.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I can explain it. But it was literally it sounded. The sound is coming from the front end. So I'm like, okay, that could be like Three different things.
Could be, yeah, could
It
be a lot
could
of
be
things.
pump. It could be torque converter. It could be transfer case. It could be front diff. What have you. So,
Okay, but let's premise this because it came in and it got diagged that it needed a valve body.
right. That's what I'm saying. This is the second time it came to the shop. The first time it got a valve body.
That was a diag on it, and they didn't have they had someone that wasn't really trained to do it.
Right. So that happened. Whatever. Come back
2,000 miles later.
2,000 miles later, and it came to me, and they asked me to diag it, and I said, okay, fine. So started doing my thing, scanning no codes. So no DTC, no codes. It means it's a mechanical problem. It's not an electric problem.
Would not go into park.
Right. That was the reason why they changed the valve body.
Oh,
The original time. So which makes sense, but and they reprogrammed and all this other stuff. But anyways, so no codes basically means mechanical. So I took a fluid sample. And if anybody doesn't know that the greatest thing you could do as far as like trying to diagnose what's going on internally is look at the fluid. The fluid will tell.
Transmission.
Well, on anything.
Yeah.
On engine oil, power steering fluid, brake fluid, anything. It'll tell you the story without having to dive in. Like, oh, I know what's going on.
Tell them what color it was.
It was so they had swapped the valve body 2,000 miles ago with brand new and put fresh transmission fluid in it, and the transmission fluid that I pulled out of the transmission was black.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, pretty much. Looked like cherry.
It looked like molasses. It looked like darkened molasses.
And it was sparkly. It was a glitter party.
Glitter party.
Glitter party basically means metal in the transmission, contamination means the transmission.
Means that the clutches are fried.
Yeah, it's smoked the
transmission.
Yeah, smoked the steels and the clutches. So I sent in for transmission, or I put in my recommendations in because I took a fluid sample from the transfer case, the transmission, and the front diff. I recommended service on the transfer case and the diff, and then I recommended a transmission and a transmission flush to flush out the cooler and all that.
Now, I pulled a lot of trannies in my day, but I never pulled one that had that. I mean, he took pictures and video, and I've never seen one that color.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them where they smelt bad. I've seen them where they're starting to turn, but I've never seen one that had black fluid.
Yeah.
It was so roached and burned up that it had black fluid.
But here was the weird kicker. It didn't smell burnt.
At all?
At all. It still smelled like cherry. Yeah, it was weird. But again, that was only 2,000 mile old fluid. So, I mean, it didn't have a lot of time to cook, but it cooked.
Yeah.
So, and, I went up to the service advisor and told him what's going on. I told him my recommendation, and Jeremy was like, we just put the valve body in. Or my boss was like, we just put a valve body in. And I was like, yeah, but
I don't know how they're built now. I don't know how the newer ones are built now, but I know that if I had an automatic transmission, whether it was a 700 or 200, 350, 450, L60, if it's not going into park, it's not, something fell out in the pan, it's not adjusted right. I mean, Hater Made Racing, Tristan, Bluto's son, had the same thing happen. He just had a little 5-cent little nut come off, and his gear selector, it fell off into the pan into the train. He had to pull the pan to put it back in place. Yeah. I mean, because I don't know how they're done now, but every automatic transmission, like in my era, had a lug that would come up in park to lock the drum in place, right? Like an emergency brake, right? That's what it was done. So if it doesn't have park, it's not the valve body. It's something that's connected to, right? Well,
so it's
the first diagnosis, just for my common sense, doesn't make sense.
Right. Like
they just threw parts at it to try to fix it.
Well, to be fair, too, it was the question.
I know we're getting into like
gray areas,
Yeah.
but and the question came
Hi,
up.
Baller.
Hey, baller.
Hey, baller.
Oh, by the way, appreciate all the comments on all the stuff, you know, and backing me up on some of them guys with some of that, you know, all the E15 stuff. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. I really appreciate you having my back.
But and the question did come up when the valve body was going in, like, hey, should this be happening? You know, like, you know, I voiced my opinion. I tried to voice my opinion, and they were like, we're doing this, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
And so I mean, there are some questionable calls made, and I'm not perfect. I make dumb calls all the time. I'm not saying that I'm not. You know, I'm human. I still have growing pains going on in the shop. But when you stick to when you use common sense and you go, okay, does not go into park. I don't know, because it's electric. This specific transmission is electrically controlled. It doesn't have an actual manual shifter. It has a turn knob.
Okay.
And
that's what I was thinking. I figured they would have made a little
so
different.
it was electric. So most of it is electric. Now the internals are mechanical.
Well, that brings up a question. On the L60 and L80s, are they mechanical?
Yes,
They're connected.
Linkages.
Okay, they're linked. Okay.
They're linkage.
Okay.
Now the solenoids, the shift solenoids, are electric.
Right. Now I get that.
Right.
I get that. Unless you get a non-electronic L60 or L80.
Right. Yeah.
Which
like
they're rare.
mid-90s, mid-90s,
Yeah, they're rare.
late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
They're still vacuum driven valve bodies.
they still kind of work like an old Turbo 350 or 400.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
4 gears instead of 3.
Yeah.
But
Got a question?
No, just some comments.
Okay.
Third Gen says, I have a 91 Camaro RS with the tiny 3.1 liter V6, and it ran for 30 seconds while the timing was completely off. And the distributor was a few teeth off. It was a miracle that it ran. And then
you listen.
I had a 91 with a 3.1 liter. I had a rebuild. I pulled it out to the 3.4. But yeah, I had the same thing. I do have a question for you though. Have you had to pull the little metal cap off the back to adjust the throttle body? You know, there's a little on the back of the throttle body. You can adjust your idle. There's a little metal cap, and you just kind of pop it out with a screwdriver, and there'll be a star screw. You can adjust your throttle body. Your idles at it. But yeah, no, they're dynamo little engines. I mean, they're still in the I remember at the time Edelbrock was making performance parts for them suckers. You know, I mean,
he said, yes, I did.
Yeah. Yep. And it was a great little car. I drove that back and forth to work for about 3 years. That white one.
Mm-hmm.
T-top. Yeah, 91. And when I was 20, I had a 90 model with the 305 in it. And it just, you know, the throttle body. And I went from a 73 Monte Carlo to a 90 model Camaro with T-tops, black with gray interior with the black white spoke wheels on it, you know. Put some white letters on it, man. Had it all tinted out. It was slick. Yep. Then I got broke and I had to sell it.
Baller says, no problem. I appreciate you all. Then he said, get better, Kenny. Ha ha ha. You said you wanted to be the best in the area.
Well, nobody's perfect. So, and I will never claim to be.
And then Ibans says, how are you doing, fellas? I have a quick question.
Hit us.
Hit me with it.
I have Third Gen says I have a 305 to rebuild to put it in.
Good.
What's the question?
Okay. Nathan is sending love from Norman. And then Baller says, you know I'm pulling your leg. Ibans says, I have a truck I have sanded down to some bare metal in some areas and now has service rust. I got some OSPHO but not too sure how to use it. What do you recommend?
OSPHO.
OSPHO.
Is that an acronym or is that the actual name of the stuff? Well, okay, surface rust. I've got an old video when I first got the first truck, and it was a step side, and the everything was rusted. And the easiest way to fix it is just vinegar and about an hour.
It's a phosphoric acid based rust converter and metal primer.
Never been a fan. Never been a fan of that stuff. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah.
No, if you want to neutralize it,
Vinegar.
then use vinegar. Vinegar will neutralize it. But the video is out there. It's got, I don't know, it's like 4 years old, and it's one of the first ones I did. And you keep it wet for an hour. Every 5 minutes you take a spray bottle of half and half vinegar and water, or you can go all vinegar if you want to kill it. But you go for an hour. You got to keep it wet for an hour, and then you take you buff it out with the wire wheel on drill while it's wet twice. First half an hour, second half an hour, and then you have to neutralize it. So you have to get the baking soda out and the water, and you got to rub it down to neutralize the acid, because if you don't neutralize that vinegar, it'll continue to eat. And then once it's done, you can basically just take some sandpaper to it and shine it up and put some self-etching primer on it. You're good to go. You'll never see it again.
Ballers telling Ivan that if he applies the phosphoric acid, it should turn black.
Yeah.
And then you wash it with water, and it should turn white after.
Yeah. I was gonna say I've used it a few times. The Navy has a different thing they use, but essentially all it is it goes on. I can't remember if it's a clear, but essentially it'll go. You'll brush it on, and it'll turn black. And then you'll like a dark gray primer, and then you use water, wet sand it, and then you'll shoot primer over the top of it. But I've always, and it's kind of hard to get, but I've always been an Aladyne fan too. But Aladyne's more of a chemical prep of the metal prior to primer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those, you wipe it on and then spray primer on it.
Well, and when it comes to, like, for me, when it comes to heavy deposits, I've always just been a vinegar guy. But you just got to, I just set a timer on my phone every 5 minutes, and every 30 minutes, give it a wire wheel scrub when everything is dissolving, and then neutralize it with the baking soda and the water.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but anyway, so the finale of the transmission was if you took a handful of rocks and threw it in a blender and hit the blender button. Because when you're sitting in the car, you hear a different you hear one sound. But what I ended up doing is I lifted the car up just enough where I could sit underneath it and had somebody put it in drive and spin the wheels up to about 5 miles an hour.
Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy.
Yeah, it was not a good sound. I was like, oh yeah, that's done.
He says, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've been through tons of videos trying to figure this out.
Yeah,
from what I looked up online, because that's what I do, is pretty much what Ken said.
Yeah.
You just put it on with, it says a brush roller or spray bottle. It goes on clear. Let it dry for up to 24 hours.
Yeah. And it turns.
And then it'll turn a dull gray or black color. And then it says you can paint over it once it's dried.
They make it makes it paintable to where it doesn't it essentially chemically neutralizes it and coats it to where it doesn't come back.
Kind of almost sounds like Pour 15.
Yeah. Yes. It's exact. Yes.
There's something I've never tried. I've never used it.
He said it's just flash rust. So it's not been on there long. It's not eating away too much.
It's not. Yeah, he hadn't eaten through it at all. So I mean, it's like
like the Mustang is a rusted.
Yeah.
It looks like it's 10 foot deep with some of the rust on it.
Yeah.
We're gonna use that. We're gonna use that arc captain with the setting that's supposed to kill rust. We're gonna use that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got a machine over there that it's a plasma cutter, but it also has a
Like a sandblaster setting?
No, it's a plastic cutter. It's
Oh,
like a lightsaber.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know, cutting metal, but it also has a setting on it for it doesn't do the puncture. It does the heat that's supposed to kill the rust, but it also induces heat too. So you're gonna have to do a little spot over here, do a little spot, move over here, do a little spot, move over here, do a little spot, so it doesn't warp anything.
Sounds
But it's
tedious.
supposed to neutralize the chemical process of rusting, and so that you can prep the metal after the fact.
Yeah.
And if it works as good, works as good as online, I tried it on the back of a piece of metal, and it warms it up, and it turns it a different color, and you can basically scrape it off. But if you took like a wire wheel to it, or like a sanding pad, you know, or anything, yeah, I think it would clean up really, really quick. I think it would be a big time saver. We're gonna do all that stuff on the Mustang.
Yeah. Fiddle around.
Baller says rust is a pain in the arse.
Arse. This.
All I know is that I think we picked out Mom's color. We're actually gonna paint it a color, not primer black.
Midnight. Well, it's gonna
Midnight Passion Blue.
Yeah.
From this company, it's like it's got
Does it have
metal flakes
glitter
in
in
it. And what?
Does it have glitter in it?
It does.
Oh.
You ever shot glitter?
Yeah.
When?
Well, I've had buddies buy paint kits.
Okay.
And they're
So
like,
I was about to say you didn't do glitter for the Navy. Well, no, you never know about the Navy.
oh.
Their
don't
their
ask, don't
show
tell.
jet, you know, I seen it before. It was pretty sparkly.
Oh, it's sparkly.
Well, it's just like anything else.
Baller says definitely YouTube that product. Unfortunately, there's so much info out there. Best practices, cut the rust out. Ha.
We're gonna be doing a lot of that too.
These rich car builders dip bare metal cars in phosphoric acid tanks, then rinse.
Doesn't that take like a week?
Then spray epoxy primer. Open your wallet.
Yeah, we've all seen those videos. Where they I know the channel where they put them on nylon ropes and dump the whole thing in a whole tank. But it's like they leave them in there for a week.
Yeah.
They pull them out. They power blast them.
Well, so but there's also another. There's something you can do with like a battery and electrodes, and that's supposed to get right, and that's supposed to get rust off too.
Parts.
I've seen big cars do it too.
With a bigger version of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of power, but like how that works is the electrolysis in the fluid, you have to have a piece of metal next to it for that to attract to. Yeah. And basically, what do they call it? A sacrificial bar or something like that?
It's sacrificial metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sacrificial metal. Yeah, and it'll draw.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm going to be doing a lot of work on those engines that I got out of the barn. I got 3 engines last weekend out of the barn.
Which there is a question. Hey, Uncle Buck, do you ever do barn finds and do road trips across the states? Kind of like the TV show Roadkill.
I don't do it for cars. I end up finding them for engines and parts. I'll do a couple hours drive there and back, to pick up a good bumper or something like that. But it's usually something on Marketplace. But I had a dear old friend. Him and his son are doing LS stuff, and he had this barn was sitting on his property line forever, and the old man the old man's 80 now. He finally decided to let him have it and put it on his property line. And he started going through it, and there was 3 engines sitting in the dirt that he's not going to use. He just called me up and asked me if I wanted a truckload full of parts, and I said, "Yeah, I want a truckload full of parts." And I asked him what I owed him. He said, "No, you just want a truckload full of parts." I'm like, "Okay," because he would rather have it because he knows that sooner or later we'll end up using it.
Right.
For this, So he's like, it was like his way of donating to the cause, and didn't cost him anything. It helped where he didn't have to haul it off because he wasn't going to use it. And then he went through all his totes, and he gave me it was a truckload and half a cab full. I mean, I'm still cleaning parts.
Ivan says, "Well, thank you. Well, thanks a lot for the info, fellas. I'll take a look at the video you were talking about from a couple years ago. Thanks again." And you're right, Baller. I got some epoxy primer. Felt like I was paying for liquid gold. Very pricey.
Oh my gosh. Oh, just wait. It gets worse. Like the kit that I found that we're gonna do on Mom's car, the whole kit is about $1,000. That is.
Can't you still get like a single stage kit from Summit for like $300?
You're the one with the Summit affiliate link. Look it up.
Well, I don't get a deal. I mean,
No.
I get.
Okay. From a guy.
I'm a pro member of Summit, so I get like 3% back after whatever I spend, which doesn't amount to much, but I mean every little bit helps. But I mean, so are we going? Are you this kit? Is it three coats of color and 3 coats of clear, or what is
it's
it?
a
Base coat, clear coat, or
yeah,
is it
so it
single
it
stage,
comes-
or what is it?
It's a two-stage kit.
Okay.
You have a catalyst, and a body. Right, but it's also the primer. It comes in with primer, the base, and the clear coat all in one kit.
I got a question for you. When it comes to, you're the body man because you did it for years and, painting jets in the Navy and stuff. Okay. Now, they're selling now like where you can use a DeWalt battery and it's like a cup. It looks like a Wagner power painter, but you can mix up a small batch of like primer instead of having to get the gun out.
You're talking about the cordless spray painters.
Yeah, and they say that they're compatible with automotive primers, not paint necessarily, but for high build, for primers that it's compatible with that. I mean, did you guys have anything like that, or was everything air driven in the Navy?
We had a 3M gun, and then we had our HVLP guns. So our 3M gun,
For a second, I gotta get it.
we used for small jobs.
Yeah.
Primer, paint, whatever. And I loved that thing. Sucked to clean. Hated it. God awful to clean.
Good Lord, Baller, is that true? $500 for just a 1 gallon kit?
Yeah.
Epoxy primer and catalyst, $500?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it dipped in gold or what?
Yeah.
Rainbow.
What brand was that? If I think I know what brand that is, but
If I had to make it, I mean, it may be different now, but back 20 years ago, DuPont was the most expensive.
no. It's oh God.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
They sell it behind the counter. I can see
He
the
says $350 for polyester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, 3M makes a gun that basically the cup is this. It comes with liners and caps, and the liners and caps are disposable.
Okay, so
they come in a small cup. They have small cups, and then they have big cups. So we basically got and it's a wool plastic gun, and you can kind of set it, kind of not, but its sole purpose is for like primers.
Yeah.
So that's what we used it for. Like it can't, like the tip held the cup, and the tip and the liner.
It almost sounds like an air gun. I mean,
Prevail.
Yeah,
Prevail.
but it almost sounds like a little small detail air gun.
Yeah,
it's got a little cup. It's gravity fed and it's got a little button.
Yep.
Airbrush.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Yeah.
But no, this thing was pretty cool.
But probably a lot bigger version because dealing with jets and not with.
Well, no, like the fan was only like this big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, when you wanted to, if you wanted to turn it down, you could. If you wanted to turn it up, you could. Like it was really nice. And like once after a while using it, it sucked because the needle would wear out and it wasn't designed for the use and abuse we were putting it through. But I feel like for a DUI painter or a guy just starting out, those little 3M black plastic paint guns are pretty dope because the tip.
Well, the reason I asked is because you can get one of those for like $25.
Yeah.
On Amazon.
Yeah.
Baller says Everclear.
That's what it is. That stuff is very expensive. They sell it behind the counter. It's a 2-piece kit. You can either get a quick hardener or a normal hardener on it, and no.
I have a feeling it's paint job's going to cost you more than I'm going to have in the whole damn car.
I don't know about all that.
She did have a question though. I don't know if any of you guys are Ford guys. Okay. she had a question because she saw a picture or saw some. Oh, it was at the Memorial Day parade yesterday. There was a convertible 65 or 66 Mustang, and because in the top on her car is kind of roached. I'm gonna have to do a lot of patching on it. She's like, how hard would it be to turn that into a convertible?
She did mention that at the parade.
Yeah.
She goes, no. This is how it started. She goes, can we just like chop the top and just leave it a permanent convertible? And I was like, well, Mom, that's all funny. That's all.
He like mansplained it to her for a
Yeah.
second.
I was like, it's a cool idea, but let's think of it like this. Say, because you're in Oklahoma and the weather changes every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Say you like go outside, it's sunny 75, and you're like, oh yes, I love my convertible, and then like you make a left turn, and then you see a storm, you see a little cloud in the sky, and then it's just cats and dogs,
Yeah.
and you ain't got no top. And she's like, that's a good point.
Baller says she's got a shop now to keep it dry. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, that's what I also told her.
No. She has a garage. Out there is the shop. That's the garage now. There's a difference. Garage, shop. Shop, garage. I can guarantee you once it's done, I'm going to lose the spot. But she ain't going to want it in there because, of all the dust and the spray, overspray, and all that
She's
shit.
not going to want it sitting outside either.
I can almost guarantee you we're getting a carport. We're getting a cover for it.
Baller says, bah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if I'm putting the work in for that paint. Oof, yeah.
Baller said body prep and paint is sickening costs.
The cost of body, like I remember,
just the materials is really just sticker shocking.
Yeah, like we used polyurethane paint, and
In the Navy?
kits, and it wasn't even. It was a quart of paint, and it was.
No, well, yeah, well, that's the military. I mean,
$750 a case or a kit, and we were burning through them like 6 kits a week.
Well, I was gonna say, like,
tax dollars of work.
Just listening to how much you guys were talking about having to paint and stuff when you were in the paint shop, I was like, what are you painting?
A June bug can do a lot of damage at 750 miles per hour.
Well, that's why I was like, for the longest time, he's like, yeah, the paint shop. And I'm like, what are you painting? He's like, the jets.
Yeah.
I'm like, but they're gray. And he's like, they're painted gray.
Painted gray.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, I was like, you guys, of all the colors to choose, you chose primer gray?
375, 320.
Heaven. I'm in heaven. I'm a primer guy.
375, 320, 375.
Is it your color code?
Yeah, that's the color code, yeah.
Geeking out, right now.
Yeah, 315, 315, yeah. 337.
Baller says the video with Santana was awesome.
And and all I did was I asked her about 6 questions, and she there was a couple of times where she was still, you could see it in her eyes where what she was going to say popped in her head, but she kind of held it. But then I said, we tell the truth around here. Don't just say what you're going to do. And there was a couple of times I had to get her just to get it out there, especially that whole babysitting grown men thing. That's the one thing that she really didn't want to say that like that. I said, well,
I haven't watched the video yet.
It's the truth. She said, babysitting the customers. You're dealing with it.
Yeah.
I mean, she says, the example she gave in the video, if I remember correctly, was that, they come in, they bring a set of heads in, they say, okay, it's no big hurry, no nothing, no big hurry.
And then call 2 hours later.
3 days later, they're calling every day, 3 times a day. Are my heads done yet? Or are my heads done yet? Every time she has to take that call, she has to stop what she's doing in the back and take that 5-minute call. And if you have 10 different customers doing that to you every day, it eats up your whole damn day.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they now have the thing. When you drop it off, we are not going to answer the phone. You'll get an email once a day for an update. I'll take 15 minutes out of the day, and I'll just take an email and say, this is your update. Don't be calling because we need to get the work done. And now she's got another helper, so there's 4 of them, but they are, whatever we're doing is working because they have more work than they have time. They're really, really, she's already now looking for another person.
Wow.
Business is good.
Business is good.
Ivan says, I got some VP 2050 and it came out to like $600.
Yeah. No,
And the baller says she has to be careful to keep business, but she's right. People can be done, unfortunately.
well,
Yeah, I mean, I'm with the business I have, and just I've dealt with public all my life, and yeah, you're always gonna have that one customer, and that one guy that you can get some. But I mean, yeah.
So, and like I've dealt with the public since I got out of the military, and it was kind of the first.
That's a whole different animal, isn't it?
Well, it was my first ever dealing with some, and I've learned one thing that across the board that nobody talks about, and that is the ignorance of the situation. I
think the best thing that could happen to you was that year or so that you were at O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
And within months, everybody wanted to talk to you.
Right. Well, it's because the reason why I say that is because nobody broke it down. Nobody ever.
I hate to say it this way, nobody dumbed it down to where you could understand.
Or nobody explained the why.
The why, yeah.
The why, and I heard that about my 6th year into the Navy, and that resonated with me so hard because it was like, go left. Why? Because I said, that makes no sense. Why would we go left when we could go right? Right? Versus, hey, I need you to go left. Why? Because if we go right, we're going to fall into a ditch. We need to go left. Oh, okay. Go left. That 2 seconds of understanding. I had a customer, while I was in the shop, I had a customer, farmer guy, and his wife's car is eating oil. And it's like, he asked me why do we think it's eating oil? It's obviously eating oil, but why? And it's like, well, these are our options. This is what could be happening.
Yeah.
This is what could be happening. This is how we can test to do it. But it's up to you because this is not covered. So I'm going to give you the most information and the most evidence that I can for you to make a decision. So that way you feel comfortable with your decision.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about that. Nobody. And when I was in the parts business, I'm looking for this. Well, are you looking for this or are you looking for this? Well, what's the difference? And I was like, well, this is this, this is this. Oh, actually, I need the other thing. Oh, okay. And I wouldn't see him for a month.
But they would come back.
And then they would come back and go, where's that bearded guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Home Engine Builder says, how do you feel about engine paint color and how do you budget for the paint and prep? Keep doing what you're doing. Love the content and the live stream. Thanks.
Okay. Well, let's just premise this by he is the professional gun shooter. I am the rattle cam Rembrandt. Okay. That's me. Okay. My prep is Duplicolor from O'Reilly's, Chevy orange on everything I do because everything I build is Chevy. Now the Ford will get Ford blue, but it'll be Duplicolor. It'll be, if I have access to a torch, it'll be heated to sweat the water out of it, get the water out of the pores, and then wipe down with any kind of solvent, whatever solvent I got.
Paint thinner,
like whatever it is. Yeah, I'll wipe it down probably twice, clean rags, wipe it down a second time with a clean rag, lint-free rag, and then it gets shot. Yeah. But the thing to point to the Duplicolor is it takes like a regular $3 rattle can takes about an hour and a half for it to tack up before it starts hardening. The Duplicolor, because it's formulated different, takes about 8 to 12 hours for it to harden up. So like if I'm painting an engine, it's going to get taped off and it's going to get painted. Everything's going to be shut off. Lights going to be turned off, and we're going to go to bed. And it's going to sit overnight. It's going to harden up overnight, and nothing touching it. But it's just a matter of getting all the old grease, and if you got access to a hand torch, sweating it to get all that old liquid off, and then it'll be perfect forever. Yeah. I mean, the first truck I did that on, and he sends me pictures of it like once a month, and it still looks like brand new underneath the hood. Yep. I mean,
the main thing is debris. Well, you'll never get the debris gone. Like I remember I went down to SoCal with Bryce and Stan, and Stan was an old school pinstriper, owned a shop and body shop, and he would like, I would never ever claim to be a professional painter, like standing next to Stan, like, Lord bless him, like he passed, but he was the guy. But he used to always say, "You're not a good painter unless you find one bug."
Or it's not a good job unless you cut yourself and bleed.
Yeah, it's like you ain't a good painter unless you found a bug, at least one.
I've got lots of friends, and we did a lot of painting, and there's always you're right. There's always a bug.
The mosquito.
There's a mosquito somewhere on the body. It's
Yep.
like a badge of honor. I
Yep.
painted it, and there it is.
Yep. And what's funny was Stan, he would get, when he was young,
God, does that bring back memories?
like going through and doing it. It would always make him mad, but eventually he would find it. He would find that bug, and he would clear coat it and cover it up and flatten it out, and so that bug would stay.
Now I'll admit about Uncle Dave. I mean, Uncle Dave, he can really make them look good. And I've never found a bug in any of his paints.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, there was a lot of us that had bugs in the paint.
Yeah.
Including the Monte Carlo had one too.
Yeah. So.
Baller says, Ken, you're right. Unfortunately, some people don't like their authority to be challenged. Funny, reminds me of a movie. Hercules says, I'm cool painting an engine any color, especially if it is a high dollar custom. Restored to original, some Chevys are black.
I still always go. It's always been my thing. Now I've had friends in the past had canary yellow engines, white engines, purple engines, black. You know, I had a guy that
About to have a neon green engine.
Yeah, I did have a guy that painted a '70s Camaro with Ford tractor paint. Well, the blue Ford tractor paint. That's all he had. So he mixed it up and shot it over a night. And boy, you could tell.
Well, I have a question. What's the purpose of it?
Just put paint on it.
There's really no.
It was all primered, and he just
to make it look pretty.
Yeah,
he just want to make it look different.
That's what a paint on an engine is. It's just
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it had like.
No.
Just do it.
If anybody tells you any different, they're lying.
Okay.
Well, no, the reason I do orange is because everything else in my engine compartment is going to be black. It's going to be gloss.
No,
but it's just going to make it stand out and look
pop.
Pretty. Yes.
Yeah, it's just going to make it pop.
It's not, there's no other purpose like
no, it's just
to
vanity.
See oil leaks better or anything
vanity.
like that.
No, it's just vanity.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. That's why, like the canary yellow one, it was all black. And when he popped that hood, it was black, yellow. I mean, yellow, like holy shit, and chrome. I mean, it just bing. It just.
Yeah.
There was no not remembering it.
Yeah. It's one of those. That's why Mopar came out with plum purple and all those crazy colors, is to make you think of them, or to kind of hard not to miss it.
Gotcha.
That's why people.
Miss Judy says Christina's going to want her car protected from the weather when we get done with it.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, if I come across like a convertible Hulk, just with all the mechanical brackets and everything on it, you don't never know. We'd have to do some welding on it, but it ain't like I don't know how to weld to support the undercarriage.
You know what I can't do? Well, looks like chewed up bubble gum. I'm not a welder. I'm a grinder.
You grind your finger right off.
Yeah, almost.
Yep.
Christmas Day, 2023.
Still got the pictures.
I still got the pictures.
Still mad
The nurses, he's in the Navy at the time, and he's, blanking this and blanking that, and we're in the emergency room at what?
Had a 6-month-old baby.
Yep. We're in the emergency room, and the girls are like, and I'm like, shut up, be quiet. G-rated. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. And what the nurse come in and said, well, we've heard it all around here. We don't care.
Yeah.
She's
like, we've heard it all, but. And it was so funny. I walked in and I had a bandage around this finger. And there was nobody in the emergency room. And I walked in, held my finger up, and I said, "Hey, can somebody put some stitches in my finger?" She was like, "Let me see." And I opened it up. She goes, "Oh yeah, you're going to need stitches."
Yeah, one girl behind the counter and the security guard.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the nurse that took care of me, or the doctor that took care of me, she was pregnant.
very pregnant.
Like
She,
8
about to
months,
pop
9
pregnant.
months
Oh.
pregnant, and
Yeah.
she was, boy, I to this day, she's lucky she's pregnant, because when she hit me with that lidocaine and that finger, boy, I wanted to smack the fire out of her.
He looked like a blowfish.
Oh man, it hurt. The finger getting cut open didn't hurt.
He was shaking. He was like, but he didn't want to get in it. He was hurting. You know, he's trying to be all macho about it. I'd have been crying like a baby.
No, I wasn't gonna cry, but I was. What it was I wanted to scream, beep,
Yeah.
and he looked at me and goes, "Don't do it." And so I was like, "That's what I was holding back."
Yeah.
The F word. I was gonna drop a nuke in there.
You know, it is proven that cussing helps reduce pain.
Well, I know I do it a lot. Whenever I hit something or like
I'm
black in the finger or whatever.
gonna tell you right now, there ain't a saint in this world when they catch that pinky toe on that coffee table.
Well, okay. Now that is at middle of the night. You're screaming without screaming, where you like your brain just mutes itself. You know, you got that face in your half.
He doesn't, but I'll be like,
Yeah.
No,
that's me because I'm like, oh, the boys.
I'm telling you, you catch that pinky toe on the coffee table, there ain't a saint in the world.
I catch it on the corner of our bed
Yep,
almost weekly, and it's like,
Yeah. You hold it in.
oh.
Well, I guess I know what we're going to be doing for a while. I mean, we're going to be moving a Mustang back into the thing, and
Well, we got to strip it down first.
well, everything, all the loose parts already. I spent a month blasting and painting all the loose parts. So everything, the window tracks and all that, the regulators, all that's all done. It's already go. It's just the body. It's the floorboards, the floor pans, and both rear quarters. The doors open and shut like brand new. They're rusted, but I mean they need to have they need to be done. But I mean there's a spot in front of the driver's side wheel well that needs to be done, and a couple little small spots that need to be probably welded a little bit and filled in on the roof. But yeah,
I think we just need to get a rotisserie. That's why, we can make
A rotisserie chicken?
No, it's a car rotisserie, but I'm like, we can make
basically the same premise. Is it bolts into where the rear leaf springs bolt in, and it bolts into the front onto the frame, and it makes it where you can basically just turn it on its side or turn it upside down.
Oh, so you're not having to try and get up
underneath it, which the lift is going to help out tremendously with that.
Right, but I don't think you want to paint on your lift.
Well, no, I don't want to paint on the lift without throwing plastic and stuff down. But I mean, but if you've ever welded, you know that it's easiest to weld in a flat position.
Do you have a question?
Okay.
Do we have an engine for that vehicle?
Josh does.
Okay.
The neighbor Josh does. He's got one sitting in his corner. It's like a 94 to 98 model Roller 302, which will fit right in without any space issues or anything. And it'll be a nice little roller motor, so it'll purr good, and start up and run, and it'll be really reliable,
But it's EFI.
Huh?
But it's EFI.
Maybe. I mean,
Do you recommend deleting the ABS in my two-wheel drive 98 Tahoe? I have
No.
rear end rise when braking hard. And the
proportional.
Hey, that's the same guy. Yes.
what?
We talked about this. I think he was on last week's live. He said he's got rear rise. When coming to a stop, basically means nose
Proportioning
down and all
valve
that.
delete kits look easy enough to install.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to take your rear brakes out completely.
No, he's talking about proportioning valve delete, which is because
Are we talking about the ABS delete?
No, we're talking about a proportional valve delete, not an ABS delete. He said ABS delete, but it's kind of not. It's still the essentially which one.
I've never done it, and I when it comes to brakes, I'm like, use what they came factory with.
Right.
Just replace parts. I mean,
well, to be fair too, you can get adjustable proportioning valves.
oh yeah, you can get those. Yeah,
You can get
Willwood sells some really good ones. Yeah, I know, I mean, have you priced a proportioning valve? You were on parts three years ago. Proportioning valves are freaking expensive.
$200.
Yeah, just for a replacement. I mean, that's why everyone
it's one of those you gotta look for.
He says ABS delete.
ABS delete. I wouldn't do an ABS delete.
No, I wouldn't do either.
That's
I don't
anti-lock.
recommend that. I don't recommend that at all.
Yeah, it's anti-lock.
There's too much vehicle there on a Bourbon for you not to have it.
You might try and bleed. So I was thinking about your question last week, and I was kind of digging through my old Haynes manuals and all that, kind of doing some research for you, and I'm kind of glad. I'm really glad you're back for this week's. But try and do a bleed, just a quick bleed, not like dump the whole system, fill it back up, do all that, but to kind of find out where the flow is stopping. Yeah. You can crack it
and you'll know,
bleed it, or like have someone pump it up, crack it, watch the flow, and then go to the next one, watch the flow. And whichever one flows the shortest,
process
or the
of elimination,
is basically your process. There's your issue. Now, if it's like the backs aren't bleeding and the fronts aren't bleeding, well, then your proportioning valve isn't sending the right amount of pressure back there.
Right.
Or it's back tracing into the front and sending very little to the rear. So, I mean, it could be like a stuck caliper that's literally preloaded and the fluid has nowhere to go. So there's so many components that could be a failure, but an ABS delete is I don't think that's the way to go.
I don't either.
That's a quick way to be a sliding machine fast.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's a lot of truck to skid. You know what I mean? So I mean, ultimately it's your car, but I don't think that's the way to go. I mean, and you can always bench bleed a ABS pump too. Those old school ABS pumps, you can bench bleed those to make sure and that the ports are cleaned out and all that. You just basically bench bleed it like an old school master cylinder.
Yeah.
So
anything else?
Just get you go to O'Reilly's and get you the Dorman, that bleeder kit.
Bleeder kit that I have.
Yeah, they sell it at O'Reilly's. I think it's like $20. It comes with plastic caps and all that. Just screw it in and just
works like a charm.
Yeah, just pump it in, and you can use like a syringe. Just just pump it through and open them up. But just use fresh, clean brake fluid and just shove it.
It kind of almost makes you wish that they would come up with some kind of like brake system flush to get rid of all the old materials out.
Well, they say to use brake fluid to flush it.
Yeah, I know.
Because after a while, heating, cooling,
everything loses its.
You get water displacement.
Yeah.
So, and that's where 99% of all your brake problems are at, is water in the brake system.
It's contaminated. Yeah, contamination. Yeah.
He said, "Okay, thanks a lot."
Not a problem. That's why we're here.
Somebody said, "Uncle Buck, I used your videos to help replace saddle tanks on my K10. One was essentially just dust brackets and all. Got it all set up and ready to hang now."
Cool. Yep. I don't know if you noticed, but they make those pretty much universal. They don't make a right side, left side. You might have to drill a hole in the frame.
Yeah.
We did. Because I bought actual driver's side, because I didn't have them for Bamalam, and I didn't have a parts truck at the time, so I had to buy them from LMC Truck. They fit perfectly, except for the right side and the left side. They come out exactly the same. You have to drill one hole in the frame, which we had to do, which ain't no big deal, But I mean, no, yep. I don't think I'll be running anything like that without just flat out replacing the tank and going brand new, because you just don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I can't.
Not for like the tank was like $90, and the sending unit was like $28 for less than 100 plus the brackets whatever. So less than $200. You got a brand new tank that's going to last as long as you have it. You ain't never got to worry about it.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about beading it, and cleaning it, and getting rid of the rust,
Changing the socks and the floaters. And the sending units and all that kind of good business. No, it's just it's some of the best money you can spend if you have an old one. If you're redoing
let's call it like it is. Some of the best insurance.
Yep. That's insurance.
Chrysalis says, I found a guy in Pittsburgh that had buckets of brackets, got them all nearly new.
Cool.
Tim's Demon said, I finally got those torque bolts out of my front disc brake. Hold on. Had to use about 3 drill bits. Heating and shock cooling didn't work. Baller said, so no crowns? LOL.
They didn't try the crown thing. I told you, dude. You got to pull the marine.
Chrysalis says, I replaced both tanks, all 4 brackets, both sending units, and all hoses. And Baller suggested that it could be he has a collapsing hose on his.
Yeah, that's the other thing I've done on both of mine is all 3. There's 3 of them on like a square body. It's 2 in the front, 1 in the back goes off the frame to the block. Yep. It goes down both the axles. Yep. One of the first things I buy.
Yep. This we buy the soft lines.
Yep. Buy new soft lines because I've had way too many of them that deteriorate and to plug up. They act like a one-way valve. Yeah. They don't release.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did buy. I just haven't done it yet. I do have a vacuum canister for Bamalam because I've figured out that the cam in is pretty big. And so I'm not getting in a vacuum to run the brakes right. They're a little spongy. So that's one of the things I got to do this summer is put the vacuum canister on it so that the brakes work right. With a big monster cam to have, vacuum assisted brakes.
Yeah. I want to start building AN lines. Start doing AN line on everything. I think they look good.
Yeah, they look good and they're safe.
But they're kind of pricey.
Yeah. Well, everything is pricey. I mean, I was out of the game. I was out of the game 15 years, and I come back and got total sticker shock.
Yeah. I will say though, I tried that Evil Energy. Yeah. I tried them. I tried some of their stuff, and
I got a couple. They sent me a couple of little piddly little samples. I got them in the pit pack.
Yeah.
I got AN fittings are like everything else. You have your bargain stuff, and then you have your really top end stuff like Earls and stuff like that.
The
OG Earls, and then you have the bottom base and stuff like all the people that are like all the stuff coming out of like Evil Energy trying to break in the market for they might work good the first time, the second time, but the fourth or fifth time, you just don't know. I mean, there's bargain basement, there's middle tier, and then there's upper echelon. And if you got for just your own safety and for longevity, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And pretty much everything these days.
Yeah. And that's try it out like Earl sells pretty much everything.
I think the company that bought Holly and Comp Chems and all the things, they're the ones that owns Earl's now.
Yeah.
I think that corporation has those guys.
Yeah. And Earl came out with the first ever. I think they were the first ones to do a LS block. The that plate that I had that was causing an oil leak.
Oh yeah.
The adder for oil coolers.
Yeah, the oil cooler. Yeah.
The oil cooler blocks.
Yeah.
Aftermarket ones.
Yeah.
I think they were the first ones to come out with those.
Well, but I mean, where Earl's came from, AN fittings, Army Navy fittings.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with them. You dealt with them for 10 years.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for a 750 mile per hour aircraft, it's good enough for a hot rod.
Yeah.
Home Builder says, now that you're out of lifters, if Powers doesn't come through, will you go roller even with the cost?
That's what Santana is trying to talk me into with the big block.
Says, is it just worth it at this point for for bought the reliability and performance gain for the pain.
I don't really see much of a, just from the camshaft, much of a performance gain, but it's just the retro part, because if I get a retro cam for the big block that has a cast iron distributor drive gear on it, not a billet where I have to get like a $250 or $350 distributor gear, a melanized distributor gear, or a bronze gear that I've changed out every 3,000 miles because it's going to get ate up. I got to get a cam button for it, probably a special timing cover to make sure there's no walk. You know, it's special size push rods, which I'm pretty sure by now that they have. You know, you can basically call whoever you want up and say, I need cam lifters and push rods because I have rocker arms and everything else. You know, 50,000 valve lift sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot of movement. 50,000 of an inch. You know, that's not much. You know, for performance gain for a low RPM up to like 6,000 RPMs, you know, it's just the cost. It's the cost. And like I said, it's a whole bunch of specialty stuff you have to go to retro it in. I did see, I got to do some more research on it, but I did see a company has recently come out with a flat tappet that has a very small oiling hole in the base to actually literally oil between the lifter and the cam lobe. It's a very small dead center, and I've got to get back online and do some research. But I mean, that seemed like a decent idea.
It's like the old. It's
I did have a guy tell me that his idea was to machine an oil galley through the camshaft and to the top of the lift of the lifter, so that when the oil system is pressurized, it'll be forcing oil through the cam to the bottom of the lifters. You know, yeah, I haven't heard from Howard, but I mean, but Santana's brought it to me this way. He said, we've done all this work. The engine is perfect. The machine work is done. It's all ready to go. The crank is great. Rods are done. Brand new pistons, rings, bearings, rods, everything. Why take a chance? Why, you know, I mean, you know, but it's saving up them ducats. It's expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I don't have any aftermarket aluminum heads, because I just can't freaking afford it right now.
Yeah.
You know, still got to keep the lights on, and you know, the money just ain't there right now.
Yeah.
You know, so I did think about it because small block Chevy and big block Chevys, the lifters are the same. They're the same bore size, same everything. I thought about retroing the small block and using those lifters for the big block. Because Santana asked me what I was going to use the big block for. I said it's going to be a replacement of the engine that's in Bamalam right now once I roast it, going down the drag strip. So I'll know what I'm going to do when I pull the trigger on what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Right now I'm completely up in the air. But right now I got a brand new small block ready to be fired off, ready to go, built, sitting on the stand. So if I've torched the engine that's in Bamalam right now, I might put that one in there and break it in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Baller says so you can use 350 SBC lifters in a 454 big block.
Yep, they're the same part number. They're the same thing. Yep, that's one of the great things. That's why I like GM so much. That's why I like Chevy so much, because so much interchanges, bell housings, brackets, pulleys, parts. You know, I mean, the only reason you couldn't use the roller tips because the stud in a big block head is bigger than a stud in a small block head. Now you can get oversized studs for small blocks. You use big block rocker arms on the 1.7s, the 1.8s instead of the 1.5s, 1.6s. You'd have, you would have interference issues, with that much. But the lifters are the same. The lifter bores and the lifters are exactly the same. Big block, small block. Because that's why GM, I think, it's my opinion, that's how they save money. Because everything interchanged. You know, they didn't have to retool for a lot of things. They could make the same lifters for every engine that they produce, you know, for decades, you know, and where Ford would be, this doesn't fit with that, and that doesn't fit with this, and Chrysler was the same way. There wasn't a lot of interchangeability involved, but you could do a lot of swapping when it comes to a big block or a small block with Chevrolet for decades.
Well,
He said, interesting. Thanks. Didn't know that.
Yep. Well, I didn't really know that either till recently, and then Santana, she verified that, you know. And I was like, well, all this time, you know.
oh, it's like have you noticed too that obviously over the years certain things have changed in motors, like Chevy, you know, but if you look at it and break it down, it's pretty much the same.
They're all just big air pumps. It's just
Yeah.
different design and different engineers that figure them out. I heard some scuttlebutt about Chevy now decided to come out with another new V8. Don't know what the differences is, but Chevy's starting production on a new style, another gen whatever, V8 engine.
Yeah.
It's going to be electric this time.
Don't get me started. Don't get me
Baller
started.
says cam is different though, correct?
Cam is different, yeah. Yeah, they're different. The big block is about a good 3 or 4 inches longer. You know, the stick is longer, and they have different lift ratios and everything, but the lifters are the same. But you know, you can Google it. I mean, but it took a little convincing for me, but Santana drove it home. Yeah, they're the same part number. She hasn't actually looked them up. Small block big block for an hour cam, same part number. So now I'm sure they're different when it comes to like your retro and rollers or
Like all aftermarket stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're
but those are the days of being able to find those like on eBay and stuff are over. So I'll have to cross that bridge when I get to it.
I still think we need to do one of these days we do a small block bottom end with an LS top end.
I saw where they took a set of LS heads, sawed them, welded them, and put them on a straight 6.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true? Did I catch that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that seemed interesting. But they also had to fabricate the exhaust manifolds, had to fabricate the intake manifold, and the whole 9 yards. And old Ed, I don't know if you guys know who that is. Old man Ed was talking about back in the day. He liked the straight 6s that came out like in the '66 Mustangs. But he would take the manifolds and he would have them machined and cut square and put a sideways 2-barrel Holley on it because they all came out with 1 barrels. And then he said all it took was that open it up the exhaust a little bit and letting it breathe and getting some more fuel. And they said those things singed. He said he still has the record for street stock in the rules from the 60s and 70s with that Mustang, with a straight 6 in it, with a 240 straight 6. You know, just by doing little things like that. You know, but I thought that was interesting. They took 2 LS heads, chopped the cylinder off of them, welded them together, and got them to bolt up.
Tim says he just wanted to mention that he's now put a small box of crayons in his toolbox.
Yep.
And Home Engine Builder says they have Elgin valves and springs for a cam setup.
Elgin's, yeah, that's a brand.
That he should send, or that he could send.
Yep.
And then Baller said that would be amazing of you.
Yep.
Every little bit of things would help, yeah.
I was
Sooner or later we'll come up with some way of using the stuff.
Well, and I was just like, on lunch, I go through, and for some reason, every time I'm at work, never fails. If I go on my lunch, or if I'm eating something, and I turn on my Facebook, Power Nation comes on.
Well, yeah,
never fails.
Well, because we
Never
spent
found
how many years have we spent watching it on something?
Right, but so, and it was about a week ago. They did small block. They did a small block 350 bottom end with an LS top end. LS heads.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
I
know
was
that
like-
was even close to bolting up.
Yeah, I didn't either. But again, Chevy making everything interchangeable.
Sorry.
But
Hey,
it's
that's interesting though, because
it's like basically just LS heads and LS intake with a Chevy short block with a small block short block in it, and it made 400 horsepower.
no, but yeah, it's like with all this stuff. It's like I go down the rabbit hole just as well as everybody else does. And right now, my thing is that I'm worried about the break in on that new engine, right? And so I just heard that Summit has come out with their own brand of break-in oil.
Hmm.
I couldn't find it in the book. I haven't looked online, but I heard that they've come out with their own. They have, like Good Wrench has theirs, and Ford Motorcraft has theirs and all that. But the Summit come out with their own brand of oil, and they actually have a break-in oil with the zinc additive and everything for the older engines. And they also have just a day-to-day, like a 30 weight with the added stuff that they're not producing in the modern engines anymore because they don't have to. The zinc, especially for the coatings, for the hard connected parts where nothing's roller, everything's flat rubbing against each other. So it needs those extra protection, and also the anti-rust properties that they have putting in the engines because everything's aluminum. They don't have to worry about things rusted. And and it like Bam Lam's engine, I don't think it'll ever get synthetic because it's flat tappet and you can't run synthetic because it doesn't have everything that engine needs.
Yeah.
You could possibly hurt your engine by not using the right kind of oil.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys got any last questions? Because it's getting kind of late and I can hear the boys are in there getting rowdy with grandma. So
He's yelling at the TV.
anyway, so any last questions?
Home engine builder says, I would like to see if you got good results out of them. Reach out.
Yep.
Got the cam and lifters also. Comp cam, I changed directions. Had to pivot due to a self-induced setback. I'd send it. Baller says, nope, thanks for the live.
Now Santana used the comp cam in that 400 Ford that she just sent to Tennessee. And she said she did the break-in, used break-in oil, but she has a different brand of break-in oil she uses. Can't remember the name of it. She has it on the shelf. I should have asked her about it, but she did the whole half an hour, 2,000, 2,500, 2,000, 2,500, and let it cool off and it fired up this run, and apparently it's still running smooth and normal, so they're happy. So, but it was a legit comp cam. That's the way they wanted to go, and she tried to kind of talk them out of it, but they wanted that comp cam, so she did it, and it worked for her. So, we're gonna pop off and run the big block on her run stand at the shop. We're gonna build it. We're gonna put together at the shop. Well, we have the extra one here that we're gonna put together. That me and you are gonna put together. You are gonna be involved in the one that's on the stand, the big block that's on the stand in there. It's a standard bore. I got all the parts, the pistons and everything. We got the crank. We got everything except for the rods and rings. That's it. The bearings and the rings. We got everything else. Well, we got the rings because you bought them through you at the store. So we just got to get bearings for it, and we can put another big block completely together except for a oil pump. You are going to be involved. The heads are already built. They're in the plastic bags in the shop.
Okay, I'll build my LS without you too.
Home engine builder said, let me know how to get in touch. I will send aluminum heads, cam lifters. I think you could do good with them. All new.
P.O. Box 2088, Muldrow, Oklahoma 74948.
It's also in the description.
Yeah, it's in the bottom of the description underneath all them links.
There's a place it's send stuff, and it's got the P.O. box, and then there's also, I think, your email address. Yeah, my email address in there. If you want to if you want to FedEx it or whatever, you email me and I'll give you my direct address.
because it's really long. When we first moved in, it was a simple 101 something or other. But then, like a week after we bought the house, it went to a weird 911 number. So every house has a different number, and don't get me started. But we're going to call it a day, and you guys think about your questions for next week. And like I said, every little bit helps. Remember, Santana and B&A Engine Works. If you have any questions about any stuff, if you need something done, JEGS, Summit, Acme Tools, help out the channel. Just
Dave says you've got main bearings, not rod bearings, and 2 sets of rings.
Dang.
yeah, I didn't do much of I didn't look at the list. I just started piling stuff in the truck, Dave. I'm sorry.
Leave it up to Dave to correct him again.
You know what's crazy though?
Every live.
Okay, listen. Dave amazes me every time I talk to Dave. Because I bet you he couldn't tell you what he wore 3 days ago for a t-shirt. But he can tell you exactly everything that's in his shop.
Mechanical. Yeah.
Everything, where it's at. He could tell you what he gave you 4 months ago.
Or what you still owe him.
Or what you still owe him. Never forget it.
It goes in that
blows my mind.
Goes in the Rolodex and doesn't come out.
Yeah.
He's like a human computer.
Every live your dad will say something.
And he gets me.
He
every
comes
live.
on, he's like, actually that's incorrect. every live.
You think we didn't notice, did you, Dave?
I noticed, and it's hilarious. Keep it up.
All right.
Bolt boy strikes again.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Jingles. Hi, buddy. You need to go outside? It's about that time? No, don't start acting stupid. All right. Okay, so we're going to call it a night. We appreciate all you guys, and we'll see you next Tuesday, if not sooner. Peace.
Dave said,
Ugh.